Hi, I'm here in the snowy woods and we are going to talk about the winter, kind of. It is very hard to talk to the camera while walking, so we're going to look at the woods while I'm walking. It's a really pretty sunny day. We had snow yesterday, and I decided there's this guy in town who creates these little bitty mountain bike trails. And as far as I know, he's the only one that uses them, but they're really fun. They just double back on each other. You're not going anywhere, you're just being in the woods, and I love it. Last week was incredibly cold, so I couldn't really be out and holding a camera for very long. So that's why there's a gap in time frame. But I wanted to talk about this period of time in the winter. I didn't realize it until just recently, but I think that I am always kind of not down like depressed, but down like just quiet and working my way slowly through life, I guess, at this time of year. And see that beautiful blue sky? And it occurs to me that I could honor that instead of deciding that I am just not doing anything. I could understand that this time between midwinter, the winter solstice, and like the beginning of February, which is the cross quarter. For those of us who don't know what that is, it's like the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And there's this understanding that as the light goes away in the fall to Yule, midwinter, the winter solstice, it's the time to it's I don't know, in spiritual traditions it's the time of death, kind of, but I have found that in my own life what happens organically is I'm still ramped up. Well, I'm still going strong during the fall and into the beginning of the winter. And then it's almost like I hit a pause or I hit some sort of roadblock of the darkness and the cold and getting through the end of the year. And then I pause. And it's, I don't know, I've noticed it for 2 years, and looking back on it, I think it's been going on for a long time, where I don't have motivation, I'm not driven, or if I have both of those things, I don't have energy. And I mean, look around. Look at this woods in its various states of snow and sun and dark. And I mean, there's nothing growing. The pines are still, they still have enough sap moving. The pines and evergreens, hemlocks here, have enough sap moving that there's still tiny bit of photosynthesis going on. It's how they make it during the summer when the deciduous trees shade them. But not very much. There's no plants on the ground moving. The animals are all bundled up. Sometimes they're getting what they can if it's warm enough to be out and moving. And sometimes they're just curled up eating the stores that they created all fall. And so maybe that's what I do, is I work all fall and then just take this break, because that's what my body does. And not everybody does this. Like, I'm fully aware that there are some people that don't do this at all. But what if I were to allow for the fact that this is just what happens? What if I were to schedule my year, understanding that the end of December and basically all of January is just going to be not the bare minimum, because that's definitely not where I'm at, but I'm not learning new things. I'm not starting new projects. I'm not doing anything that hasn't already been set in motion earlier in, the end of last year. And so this is the time for me to regroup, to sleep. Not really that death, but the sleeping of everything. Nothing new. And then again, spiritually, various traditions that look at sometimes it's called I've completely forgotten what it's called. The 2nd of February, where the woodchuck comes out. Can't remember. Groundhog Day? Is it really honestly called Groundhog Day? It really is. But that's right around Ostara, or there's a whole bunch of different terms for that cross quarter. It's like, okay, this is the time. Not yet, obviously. We've got a couple of weeks to go, but that is the time of beginning to consider seeds that will germinate when it's bright enough, warm enough, awake enough. But what if I allow? What if you allow for the fact that we just can't produce constantly? That's not how it goes. So I'm allowing for that today, this week, probably next week, and maybe even into the week after. Just allowing for the fact that I am not doing anything new. Right now, I am looking towards the groups that are going to start next week and the week after, that I set in motion in the fall. And then starting right around February 1st, I can start poking my nose out of my den and wondering what the next year will be. Instead of looking at it as January 1st, I can look at it like February 1st. The light is appreciably different by then, and the world is brighter for longer in the northern hemisphere here, and I can just enjoy that. I hope that this little winding walk, which is really wonderful and lovely for my senses, is not has not made you dizzy. But consider, is there a time of year, is it this time of year, or is it a different time of year, when you just don't have it, and throughout, I don't know, some amount of time in your life, you just don't have it to do new stuff? And what if that's okay?